Now at 6, we're going to be tracking some showers and thunderstorms across the region.
Authorities charge a Southwest Missouri woman for assault with a weapon and
how the student debt relief plan could be helping students at Missouri Southern. I'm Jalen Banks with more.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We needed the rain. Scattered thunderstorms are expected to continue into the evening. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go straight to Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, we've had bands of showers and thunderstorms rotating through this afternoon. Very ominous looking sky. We call it SLCs, or scary looking clouds. Doesn't mean anything. It's just ominous looking, just some strong storms. But you get some scud where you get some lowering from the clouds. But don't be concerned about this. Just something we're keeping our eyes on. But scattered showers, thunderstorms across the region. Earlier today, mainly along and north of I-44. Now it's kind of along and south of the Interstate 44. And we still have some strong little guys which are pushing through right at or just below severe limits, especially once you get down into northern parts of Newton County. So you can see right through Joplin. So just to the east of Galena, we can track just a hair south of Joplin. We're seeing those showers and thunderstorms continuing down into Newton County. How long are these going to stick around? We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
To then, police have arrested a woman suspected of assaulting a man with a knife, and when they found her, they say she was with a stolen car. Authorities say Chloe Crow of Lamar assaulted the man at the Divine Estates apartment complex in Lamar. The victim suffered from a cut to his neck, and they say he did not know the suspect. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Crow is charged with first-degree assault and first-degree vehicle tampering. Authorities responded this afternoon to a tractor-trailer fire along I-49 near the Bella Vista bypass. They say the tractor-trailer became fully engulfed in flames where it then spread across both southbound lanes. Traffic along I-49 was completely stopped and moved to US 71. The tractor-trailer was carrying cardboard. Students across the nation are expecting relief on their student loans following President Biden's announcement on loan forgiveness. KOAM's Jalen Banks looks at how that can impact students at Missouri Southern.
In the middle of the opening school week, President Biden announced a new plan that can be impacting students at Missouri Southern State moving forward. Last week, President Biden announced the student debt reduction plan that would allow people that make less than $125,000 eligible for $10,000 in student loan relief. Students on Pell Grant would be eligible for additional $10,000.
Well, it certainly gives our students an opportunity to reduce the amount of debt that they have, maybe accumulated this far, or even former students that are struggling with how they're going to make repayment in the long term in their life. So it's an opportunity for us to help make sure they know that this is a possibility. And
one student feels debt has forced some from pursuing certain careers.
I mean, for me, I'm going to be a doctor, so I think we're missing out on a lot of our future doctors, future nurses, fill in the blank, just because they can't hack student loans. So
he also says he sees how this could be impactful for students moving forward.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. Obviously, I'm just a student. I don't know a ton about politics, but I mean, at least on the face, it sounds good. And I mean, you're helping a group of people who really need it and who are going to benefit from it the rest of their lives. So,
in Joplin at Missouri Southern State University, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
The Department of Education encourages people to apply for the relief by November 15th. While students could begin seeing some relief, drivers are seeing it as well. Gas prices continue to drop all around the 4 states and the nation. The national average for a gallon of regular fell below $4 early this month and has been falling ever since. In Jasper County, the average is $3.26 per gallon. In Newton County, it's $3.33. In Crawford County, it's $3.43. And in Ottawa County, it's $3.44. According to AAA, the average for all of Missouri is now $3.45. In Oklahoma, it's $3.46. And in Kansas, it's $3.53. After 2 years of being closed, Nevada's Senior Behavioral Health Center has reopened. Nevada is one of a few senior psychiatric centers in the state of Missouri. The center says with 8 new beds and cameras, they're ready to keep safety the #1 priority. They specialize in patients age 55 and older.
Our local care providers have to send our patients far away to other counties and even other states to get the kind of health care that we can provide here. So it's really, really good that we're able to do this now.
The center will begin taking patients on September 1st. Coming up, how the Springfield, Missouri Police Department looks to deal with a homelessness problem. Plus, Little Balkans Day is coming up. We're going to take a look at how they're setting up. Another homeless camp has sprung up on the edge of Springfield, Missouri. It's right beside a busy roadway, causing traffic problems and frustration for deputies who have to clear it up. Michael Hoffman reports on the latest plan to move it out.
It's a dangerous situation. I wouldn't recommend going into one of those camps by yourself. Also, it's dangerous for us to walk in because of all those hazards, and not to mention somebody that may be hiding from the police or dodging law enforcement.
If you're driving south on West Bypass, just past the Walmart at Sunshine, you'll see this. A homeless camp that just keeps on growing. And unlike the Springfield Police Department, the Sheriff's Office doesn't have to jump through any hoops to get it cleared.
No, we don't jump through any hoops. If the landowner requests that people not be there and they're trespassing, then we simply remove them.
And requests they have, but the people living there aren't the only issue.
One of the big things that we see is such a danger in these camps is the amount of drug usage with needles and everything left behind. It's a huge danger for us to go in there. In fact, we won't bring our canines in there because they step on the hypodermic needles and things like that. So it's a very difficult situation.
A woman who lives nearby but who did not want to go on camera for an interview told me that on multiple occasions she has seen some of the homeless from the camp wander into her neighborhood. If that happens to you, the sheriff has some advice.
Yeah, call 911. As soon as you see something like that crop up, call 911. We'll come and deal with it, and hopefully the landowner or the resident will be cooperative, because that's what we need, is them to be cooperative for us to take any type of action.
Sheriff says deputies are working to empty the camp, but cannot patrol it around the clock. After they leave, some sneak back in. Little Balkans Days kicks off tonight. It's a week-long celebration in Pittsburgh to celebrate the region's diverse cultural and ethnic heritage. Events every night, from lots of music to tons of food, dancing, just to name a few. Also, the first home football game for PSU is this Thursday night.
The festival was started in 1985 by a group of volunteers that wanted to celebrate the cultural and immigrant heritage of the area, celebrate our coal mining history, because it's been a large part of how this community was founded and created. And so we do that this year with lots of fun, lots of live music, tons of food, and we literally have something for everybody.
Little Balkans Days ends this Sunday, September 4th. A little bit later, Kansas farmers are asking for more rain after this weekend's weather.
Plus, we are getting some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there this evening. We'll look at that coming up. Well, we've had scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region over the past several hours, kind of hit and miss all day long. Now a pretty good batch has been rolling through the metro, which you can see on our Landers Chevrolet. This is our live tower cam. So we're right on the southeast side of the city, and you can see the interstate is wet, so slow down a little bit if you are going to be out there. Of course, this is east and westbound traffic on the southeast side of the city. All right, thunderstorms earlier today. Most of these were along and north of I-44. Had a few stronger ones, had a couple low-grade severe thunderstorms over the past couple hours, mainly along and south of the Interstate 44, but some heavy amounts of rain. We also got a big dose of rain, heavy amounts of rain right through the city yesterday morning. So this is something that we've needed for quite some time. Of course, where you see the yellows, oranges, and reds, that is showing us the heavier amounts of rain. Pretty good cluster right through northeastern Oklahoma into southwestern Missouri. We'll go ahead and zoom right into Joplin. You can see a little bit heavier once you get just north of Webb City. a little heavier batch south of 7th Street in Joplin. This extends a little bit farther south. So here's I-44 all the way back toward downstream Casino and then into northern parts of Newton County. None of these are too strong or severe, but some of these have been packing at least a little bit of a punch. If we expand, so we're looking for them from the entire metro, from Carthage to Miami, up to Pitt, down to Neosho, showers, thunderstorms. These are going to continue for the next hour or two, and then they will start to wind down just a little bit. Look at the rainfall amount. So this is over the past 36 hours, fairly widespread, and you can see some pockets of yellow and orange showing us 3 upwards to 4 inches of rain. On average, most of us about a ½ inch, but there have been some pockets of some heavier amounts of rain. Look at 7th and Rangeline. Of course, roads are wet. And we talked about the scary looking clouds. They are ominous looking, but we haven't seen anything that really causes any concern. Just good old showers and thunderstorms. 78 south winds at about 10 to 15. Of course, the humidity is on the high side. Let's go through time. The rest of the evening, showers, thunderstorms kind of working out of here. We are going to have a couple hit and miss isolated guys behind it as we go through the rest of the evening. You can see a couple more little guys trying to pop up late tomorrow night into tomorrow morning. Here's 6 a.m., isolated storm or two, then mostly sunny skies. We're going to stop at the noon hour. We're into the mid-80s. By the time we get into the afternoon, I think most of us are going to be kind of in that 90 to 92 degree range. So the afternoon looks fine as we go into tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night, also shaping up pretty good. My computer locked. Well, that kind of stinks. But 92 tomorrow. We are going to be 91 Wednesday, 94 Thursday. We are going to get some rain chances back in here for the holiday weekend, which I'm just going to have to tease you on that. We're going to have to look at it here in about 7 or 8 minutes.
Oh, you tease. All right. We'll see you for the final weather recap. We'll have all of that. Thanks, Doug. Over the weekend, some Kansas farmers got what they've been hoping for all summer, and that is rain. While some areas recorded more than an inch, farmers say it's still not enough to make up for the summer drought. Reporter Chelsea Croft spoke to a Sedgwick County farmer who says any moisture helps.
4 or 5 miles north of here, they said they only had about 1/10 of an inch, maybe 20. It's just fortunate we've got it where we did. It's been such a dry summer that you're lucky to get one.
Kenny Jacob is a 4th-generation farmer. He says he hasn't seen farming conditions this bad since the 1980s, saying farmers have been calling each other asking about rainfall totals.
In this area right here is about a 2 mile by 6 mile stretch. About 2.5 weeks ago we had an inch of rain and really perked them up, but they need more rain. This is a good rain for them, but another rain would be very beneficial.
Jacob says another 2 or 3 inches would be needed to get his soybeans through to a late September harvest. This summer, he's also had to drastically increase the water to his irrigated land.
They're about half grown now. We've got beans, irrigated beans are this tall, and you can see these are only about 6-8 inches tall. And they'll get foot and a half if we get the rains right.
Jacob predicts his dryland corn will yield better than expected in these drought conditions.
This year we've had some 20 bushel corn, and the best so far has been maybe 60.
Jacob here now with sports. It's opening day for Webb City softball.
And the Cardinals hit the road to Nevada tonight for Game 1. We're going to check in on that one. Plus, a pair of Riverton volleyball players close in on career milestones. We'll hear from both of them up next. Well, today is the opening day of the season for Webb City softball. The Cards hit the road to Nevada this afternoon, taking on the Tigers in game number 1. And Nevada has already played 4 games this season, coming into the night with a 2-2 record. Now, this one is actually still going, with Nevada leading 10-7 in the bottom of the 6th. We'll have highlights from the game right here tonight at 10. Well, this week is game week for Riverton High School volleyball. The Rams will be in action for the first time on Thursday night, playing in Erie. Riverton heads into the season aiming for their 3rd consecutive trip to the 3A state tournament. In addition to that, They got a couple girls closing in on some big-time career milestones. Senior Morgan Compton has a chance to pass 2,000 career assists this fall, while J.C. Thomason will likely top 2,000 career kills in a Riverton uniform.
Once I got into high school, I was like, 1,000 volleyball kills, like that's way up there. I don't even know if I can do that. And then doing that as a sophomore, I was kind of dumbfounded that I even got there. And so then after that, I was like, all right, to get to 2,000 kills, like that is my goal. And before I graduate, like I want to leave my mark here as someone who did that in the state of Kansas. And yeah, that'd just be crazy. That's a huge goal of mine that I hope to accomplish.
Ever since we were in middle school, she was always my #1 hitter, you know? And like, we always have that connection. We just know where she's going to be, where she's going to hit.
More volleyball news. Missouri Southern senior and former Pittsburgh Purple Dragon Abby Casper earns MIAA recognition today. Casper has been named the league's Defensive Athlete of the Week. In 4 games, Casper averaged 4.7 digs per set, also had 5 aces and a .989 return percentage. She helped the Lions go 3-1 at the Southern Invite last weekend. They'll be back in action this Friday in Denton, Texas. The St. Louis Cardinals have opened up a 6-game lead in the NL Central. The Cardinals are 74-54 overall. They've won 12 of their last 15 games. Now tonight, they're on the road for Game 1, 3-game series against the division rival Cincinnati Reds. That one, unfortunately, actually in a rain delay. If they do get on the field to play, we'll have an update from the game right here tonight at 10. So we've had plenty of rain in the area. It rained on me almost everywhere I went today, but Webb City softball still in action. We'll have highlights from that one tonight at 10.
It's inconvenient doing sporting events, but boy, we need the rain.
Sure.
We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Tommy Eldridge served in the U.S. Army, National Guard, and Navy. The Baxter Springs, Kansas native was captain. The combat engineers in the Guard were proud to salute Petty Officer 2nd Class Tommy Eldridge, a 4-state hero. Of course, you can learn about lots of other heroes. We have thousands of them in our database, and we are always looking for more. If you know of a veteran, someone who served in the past, maybe a currently serving service member, just drop us a line. Click on the link, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Democrats, not Republicans, seem to have the momentum going into the November elections. Also, a federal judge has signaled she's prepared to appoint an independent arbiter to review the materials that were seized in former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. And many faculty and students are still trying to overcome the hurdles placed in their way at the start of the pandemic. Those stories, a lot more, it's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Now, Prairie State Park in Barton County, Missouri has released a video of their newest addition to the park. Look at this. This pumpkin-colored calf was born just a few days ago. That color is unusual. American bison are the largest animals in Missouri. They can weigh up to 2,500 pounds, largest outside of a zoo anyway. If you want to see the new addition in person or in Bison, you can find out how on KOAMnewsnow.com. Cute little critter.
Big, furry.
Yeah, that's true, and it's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
The weather.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms sticking around the next few hours, and then pretty calm tonight. We could get a random shower early tomorrow morning. Then dry for the next few days. Rain chances back in, heading into the holiday weekend.
Final sports note.
This week is not only Kansas High School football week 1, but also Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern both in action for the first time on Thursday night. We'll hear from the Gorillas right here tomorrow night and the Lions Wednesday night.
It's an exciting time to be a sports director.
And a busy one, too.
You bet. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.